How's it going, fellas, and welcome to the channel where I kick back, relax and talk NBA 2K22. And today I want to talk about, does NBA 2K22 take skill to play? Because Mike Wang talked about how much this game takes skill to play. There's a huge skill gap in NBA 2K22. You've got to have basketball IQ, you've got to have shot IQ to succeed. But I'm calling bullshit, fellas. I really am, because the more and more I play this game, this does not cater to skill, it caters to badges. And that's the truth. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to be talking about shooting, dribbling, defense, and even slashing to the basket. And does it really take skill in NBA 2K22? So if you like that sort of stuff, don't forget to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below, does NBA 2K22 take skill to play? But anyway, guys, I've talked and raved long enough. Let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is shooting. Shooting in NBA 2K22 does not take skill. It does not at all. Mike Wang talked about shot IQ, but there's no shot IQ. There really isn't. Yeah, you are technically wide open, but they've given you that many bailout shooting badges like sniper, blinders, mismatch expert, and our old favorite Deadeye. It was okay when we only had one to deal with in the older games, but now with 3, 4, 5 badges altering the shot contest, it is becoming a joke. Blinders has been taken to a whole new level. Sniper is the most used badge in the game because you do not miss whites. Shooting greens has never been easier, but making whites is just taken to a whole new level. You don't miss open shot. Like, I understand you should be rewarded for shot IQ and getting open to a degree, because it's just getting to the point with 99 speed and players just zigzagging. It's not that hard to get open. So allowing players to just basically get a free shot just because they're open is doing my head in, fellas. And they're just getting bailed out here, there, and everywhere. So the next thing I want to talk about is dribbling. At the start of the game, it was somewhat skillful to use dribble moves to get open. With the buff to defense, it actually took a bit of skill and actually a bit of basketball IQ to notice which moves are needed to create the space to make an open shot. But now it's just zigzag cheese. Left, right. It's taken all the skill out of dribbling, fellas, and it's hurt the game a ton. It really has. The left-right cheese has taken all the fun and the skill out of the game. No IQ, no skill is needed to do this shit. It really isn't, fellas. And when players don't even green this year, it becomes impossible to stay in front of these 5'7" guards that just have 99 speed, 95 3-point shot, and they don't even green. And they're still making shots from half court over and over and over again. Does that really take skill, Mike? So the next thing I want to talk about is defense. The one thing that actually takes skill in this game is on-ball defense without reaching. If you can stay in front of those small guards and actually play proper defense, I give credit to you, fellas, because it is hard. It is the only thing in this game that takes skill. Now that they've got all their offensive badges, it's hard to stay in front of them, fellas. It really is. So players that can will win most of their games by just being able to play on-ball defense, because as I said, it's one of the only things that actually takes skill in this game. People also say that stealing the ball takes skill. I totally disagree, fellas. When players are trying to steal the ball 10 times a play, they're stealing it. As soon as I catch the ball, they're trying to steal it 3 or 4 times before I even get over the half-court line is a joke. And they're not getting punished at all. And bump steals just work every single time if you don't have unpluckable. It's getting ridiculous. I can't even pass the ball. I can't even move sometimes. If I've got 2 lockdowns on me before the half-court line, I can't even move. I just get swamped. I can't pass the ball, and it just gets ripped every single time. It's becoming a joke. So the next thing I want to talk about is rebounding takes a little bit of skill, but it all comes down to attributes. If you have position and jump at the right time, you don't always get the ball if you don't have the attributes or the vertical. It's ridiculous. You literally catch a ball in front of your eyes and it just goes through your hands and the other guy gets it. You see it right in front of your eyes and it just goes straight through your hands, and the guy with the better attribute most of the time will get the ball 90% of the time, maybe even 100% of the time. It's getting ridiculous. They'll literally take it out of your hands, or the ball will be above your head and they'll just snatch it. Even though they're in bad position, they don't jump at the right time, but yet they still get the rebound. So the next thing I want to talk about is slashes in the park. Now that players know what dunk packages do, it's becoming a chore to try and stop these aggressive dunks. They just push you out of the way time and time again. I think it's the Zach LaVine dunk package. It's literally impossible. It really is. You get in front of them, you jump at the right time, and they'll just push you out of the way. The collision detection isn't there there when both players are in the air. It's bullshit. Now that players have learned the timing of the aggressive dunks, no IQ is needed. You just get the perfect dunk timing and it's a dunk. You just push the big fella out of the way and it just becomes a joke. Time and time again, players are just taking bad takes, whether it be aggressive dunks or even layups as well. They're just getting rewarded over and over and over again with animations to just bail them out. If you play hands-up defense, the amount of times a guard will just lay up over you is a joke. You know, when they get that animation, when you're fighting next to them and they get that animation that barely ever misses when it comes to layups. It's ridiculous, but you're right on top of them. You're going shoulder to shoulder and you don't get a contest. Things like that need to change, because at the end of the day, what does 2K need to do to make a skill gap? 2K needs to start punishing players for spamming stuff and bad IQ or bad plays. They can talk and talk and talk, but they can't walk and walk and walk. It's two different things. It really is. They talk the talk, but can they walk the walk? Because at the end of the day, it's a video game. If you're not on the front foot in 2021, the community will eat your game alive and break it within a month, like what we've seen year after year. This is what happens to 2K every single year. The whole badge system needs to be redone, because once players get their HOF badges, the game becomes broken. Badges need to be less effective and less relied on to make shots. If you're not skillful enough to make the shot, you don't deserve a magic badge to get you a contest or a magic badge to make it an open shot. They're the things that need to change when it comes to the badge system, because the badge system is a good system. Allowing us to change the badges is a great thing, but the badges themselves are just too powerful with the attributes that we've got now, and it's just breaking the game in so many different ways, because the game was fun at the start. When we only had bronze and silver badges, the game was balanced. People were using dribble moves to get open. Not everybody was making every single white. It was great. It was fun. But what we've got now just isn't fun at all. So the last thing I want to talk about is just a few final thoughts, and 2K will never take a skill gap seriously. It won't, fellas, because they want casuals to play as long as possible, but with a high percentage of the community wanting a skill gap, it's a good marketing ploy. It really is, because how can you tell unless you buy the game that a game has a skill gap? Yeah, you can tell that a game looks good. You can tell that the game has fun gameplay by looking at it, watching it. But can you see that a game has a skill gap without wasting $150? You know what I mean, fellas? It turns out that a $150 bet, and most times we lose. But anyway, guys, I've talked and raved long enough. If you do like these raves, whatever you want to call them, don't forget to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below. Does 2K22 have a skill gap? Current gen, next gen, whatever? Leave it all in the comments below. But anyway, guys, I've talked and raved long enough. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch us later.